Hey YouTube, I wanted to do a video comparing the ZT Zero Tolerance 0560 versus the M1 Combative Edge. Right away I'll say I do like the Zero Tolerance 0560 better, so don't, think I don't by any means. But this knife is going to be $260 when everybody has them in stock. This knife, I believe, is $160. So you're talking about $100 difference, and so might be a option for some people who don't want to spend the extra 100. They're both G10. Both provide plenty of traction. This is a peel ply, and it's probably, I don't know, they're both pretty aggressive. I really can't say which one's better. Obviously, or in my opinion, the Zero Tolerance looks better, the 3D machined versus the peel ply, but this still does look pretty nice, especially where they smooth it out in there. They're both titanium frame locks. Now, I have heard some people complain about the pocket clip, and I do think it's a little flimsy, but mine's holds it in my pocket pretty well, especially if you have thicker jeans on, where it could catch in there a little better. It is adjustable, tip up, tip down, right side, just like the Zero Tolerance, and it has this little plate right here which you adjust depending on what side the clip is on, which acts as a overextension bar for the lock stop. This has got the 3D machined titanium versus the smooth. So pretty much they're the same. You can see blade thicknesses about the same. Yeah, they look identical. Both flippers. The only difference there is this has a really strong detent and the KVT. So, boom, open. This flipper is about useless unless you do some wrist action. And the wrist action isn't needed because the knife isn't smooth. The knife is every bit as smooth as the 0560. The reason it's needed is because, see, there's no detent. Hence the reason for the strong detent that some people complained about on the 0560. They did that so you could do this, which is what people want to be able to do. If you don't have a strong detent, you get this. Or that. This weak detent on this knife was a design that they meant to do. They wanted a weak detent so you could pull this thing in your pocket, shake it, and deploy it. And just the fact that when you go to throw this knife forward, I can't do it right here, but when you're standing up, it'll actually deploy the knife. Oh, see, there you go. And they did that because they designed this as a self-defense knife. And that's what it's for. Fit and finish on mine was just as good as the Zero Tolerance. Mine is perfect. Both of them have perfect blade centering. You can see the tip's a little bit thicker on the Zero Tolerance, as it's not mainly designed for self-defense, which it will work well, but it's got a strong tip for other things. Sorry about that. They both came razor sharp. Cutting edge on them about the same, I'd say. Almost the same size knife. Jimping is great on both of them. It's really aggressive on the Zero Tolerance and just works well on the Combative Edge. It's got it on the handle right here and up on the blade. Sorry guys, I've been sick, but this uses blades, the thumb studs as blade stops. That's really what they are. They're not really thumb studs, they're blade stops. But if you want to use them as thumb studs, just press on the back of the blade at the same time and you can open this knife slowly. This has a stop pin, and these thumb studs work well, and that's what they're meant for. flick it open real easy. They both have a substantial guard from the flipper, so to keep you from sliding up. Both work really well. The blade on the M1 works really well for slicing. It's actually slices better than my zero tolerance does. And the N690 also is really good. But I will say, I haven't done any heavy work with this knife, and I did get a little chip in the blade. But don't take that the wrong way. That could happen with pretty much any steel. But I did get a little chip in the blade, which I sharpened out pretty easily. So, N690s, I have had no problem sharpening it. And I haven't got any chips in my ELMAX yet. And that same goes for my 0551. I haven't had any chips in that either. They both use Torx. I do like the pivot better on the 0560 because it has the hex pivot, which keeps it from spinning on this backside, as where the M1 does not. It's just a round pivot which can spin. This one rides on the KVT, which is an enclosed ball bearing system. You're not going to be able to see it, but it does. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this one actually has for the pocket clip, right side or left side, tip up, tip down. I think I said it was left side only, but it's actually all four sides. And they both have lanyard hole as well. But this one rides on one bronze phosphorus washer on the locking side, and on the G10 side it has a plastic washer, a nylon. But the action on this M1 is crazy smooth. See that? That's all with no blade play. This thing's solid. See, if anything, it's smoother than the zero tolerance. Don't know why, because I've had plenty of knives that use this combination, and none of them are as smooth as this M1. And what that does is, oh, whoops, hit my knife. You deploy this thing extremely, extremely easy. Not sure if I could do that. Camera's too close, but let me try to flick it up right here. It's effortless, extremely smooth. They're both easy to disengage. Neither one of them are sticky. You see the lockup on both is, they both have great lockup. The lock bar is thicker on the 0560, but they both lock up solid and really have no problems. I will say that the jimping helps quite a bit disengaging this, and it's really easy to get in there. Like, you could probably do it with gloves, no problem. I haven't tried, but I could see you having a problem with the with the M1 because it's cut perfectly even with the G10, and so I kind of dig the meat of my thumb down in there. But if you're wearing gloves, that might be a little harder to do, as where there's a bigger gap on this knife with aggressive jimping, you're able to get to it easy. Thickness wise, they look about the same. I haven't measured them. I don't think there's any noticeable difference. The edges on this G10, people have said is, you know, sharp, but when you're holding the knife, I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't know. You know, it's all smooth back here, backspacer, partially open. About to run out of time though, guys, but yep, just a little comparison. Both great knives. This is $100 cheaper. I prefer the ZT, but That's up to you. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.